It's 7:44 KNEB, and still some lingering fog, 63 degrees. News Extra is next. It is brought to you today by Java Funeral Home, and here's Kevin.
Thank you, Dennis, and good morning, everyone. Our guests today are Jeanne McKerrigan and Sara Klein, and they are with the third annual Light of Hope Breakfast. It's coming up in September, but they are working hard right now on the various things that are going to happen with the Light of Hope Breakfast. And I guess, Jeanne, let's talk about, first of all, the dates, the time, and for those people that don't know what the Light of Hope Breakfast is, what it's all about.
All right. Well, the date is going to be September 9th this year, and the breakfast is at the Gearing Civic Center. It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's a free breakfast for those who want to attend, and it's on behalf of CASA and Capstone. CASA is a court-appointed special advocate program in which citizens are recruited to become advocates for children involved in abuse and neglect cases, and we have one of those groups here locally. And then Capstone is actually where these children are interviewed after they have been abused or actually have been a witness to a violent crime. So if you're interested, we have some information here that Kevin's going to share on how to contact us. And we are also recruiting sponsors for the event.
That's right, and that's part of how you raise all the money for this. Talk about, I know there was the Summit for the Healthier Panhandle. We talked about that this week, and we've talked about it a couple of weeks ago when we had Senator Harms in talking about the situation with abuse here. But unfortunately, Scottsbluff County ranks very high in terms of abusive cases, right?
That's correct. Right now there's approximately 100 children that are in foster care here in the county, and at this time we only have 18 active volunteers, active CASA volunteers serving 45 children. So as you can see, we're a little behind in that area. And also in Capstone has actually interviewed 278 children, with 86% of those for sexual abuse and the rest for physical abuse, neglect, and meth is prevalent in the area. So as you can see, there's a high caseload in this local area here.
Yeah, and so both agencies are very busy.
Yes, they are.
Okay. So how does this work? Before we talk to Sara, the breakfast, explain how this works. You guys are basically going out for sponsorships, right?
That's correct. We have sent out packets to several of the local businesses and just explaining what it is and what we're doing that morning and requesting sponsors. And along with that, they get a certain amount of seats at the table. They can bring guests along with them. And it's a free breakfast. But donations are welcome after the breakfast. So.
All right. Okay, Sara, let's bring you in here. The sponsorships that we're talking about here, you've done very good because you guys have a pretty big goal for how much money you want to raise through sponsorships, right?
We do. Our goal is $18,000 for sponsorships, and we have almost reached that goal. We have a lot of businesses that we would still like to contact and what we're following up on. So we're hoping to exceed that goal. Right now we have 43 sponsors that have accepted.
And the sponsorships range from a relatively small amount to a larger amount, right?
Yes, we have different levels, starting with the bronze level at $250, and with that ticket you get 2 places at a table. We have the silver level, which is $500, and you get 4 places at a table. The gold level is $750, and that's 6 places at a table. And then we have our platinum level, which is $1,000, and you get 8 places at a table. And then each of those different levels come with different advertisement also.
Okay, in the program and at the breakfast and the entire thing, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you guys are doing very good. As a matter of fact, you're ahead of last year. Is that right?
Yes, we are. We raised a total of $28,000 last year, and we've raised that up to hopefully $30,000 that we'll reach, and we've exceeded the goal for sponsors already by probably probably $2,000 or more. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're doing pretty good already with the sponsorships. All right, we'll be back with more after we take this break.
Positive, comforting, personal. Jolliffe Funeral
Deal.
Home. Let Jolliffe Funeral Home
All right,
help
let's
you
see
on
what
the
else we
road
need
you
to
love
talk
when you
about.
pass. With unmatched service
We might explain how the
will help
breakfast
you carry
works.
on the legacy of your
Okay.
family members
Last
and
year you had
friends.
like
With
over
years of
200 people
experience,
attend.
We offer
Yes.
professional and personal
So.
attention to every detail in the planning process. We also offer advanced planning as a continuation to our services. That's Jolliffe Funeral Home. Our family serving your family for 3 generations.
We are back on News Extra, and we have Sara Klein here and also Jeanne McKerrigan, and they are with the Light of Hope Breakfast coming up on September 9th over at the Civic Center, a fundraiser for both CASA and Capstone. And Jeanne, kind of explain how this breakfast works that morning.
Well, you arrive, and what they will do is, based on whether or not you work for a business that sponsored this event, you will have a seat at a designated table. And then we will begin the program, which actually we have some special guests that will be there. Senator Harms has accepted to be our special guest this year. And then each of the agencies, CASA and Capstone, as well, have a special guest that will get up and talk about their role in helping children. And then at the end of that, we just request that maybe if it's in their heart that someone donates some additional money at that time. And so it's a free breakfast, but at the same time, donations are welcome.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And Sara, you guys are moving to the Civic Center partly because you've been so successful in the other two, right?
Yes, last year we had about 200 different guests, and we have outgrown the country club, and so we are moving to the Civic Center with hopes of being able to fill that venue also.
All right. Now, donation-wise, you had the goal for $18,000 for your sponsorships. It looks like you're going to easily make that. And then through donations, you hope to raise almost close to that amount of money as well, right?
Yes, we're trying for $15,000 because we do have expenses involved with doing this breakfast, and so we're hoping to raise a total of $30,000, which would allow us to give $15,000 to each agency for the year to use for their needs. So.
Is this the biggest fundraiser for each group? I would think it is, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's correct. It is.
All right. Now, we should mention the person that kind of started all this, and she's not here today. This got started 3 years ago by one of your fellow workers, right?
That's right. I hired Katie Camacho at U.S. Bank. She's my assistant relationship manager. I refer to her as my arm. And she came from Colorado Springs, and while she lived there, she was part of the CASA board, and this was one of their largest events they had to raise money for CASA as well. So she brought this to the table and thought the two agencies could benefit from it. So, and it's been very successful. So we're very grateful to her.
Yeah, and she's got Jeanne involved in this, and Sara, you're involved with this type of thing just through your work, right?
Yes, I'm a local mental health therapist here in Scottsbluff, and I work mainly with children, and so both of the agencies are very vital to helping me to do my job better, and they are a great voice for children, and so both programs I work very close with and are great for our community, and so I support both of them and hope that others will too, because it's very beneficial.
All right. Let's give out your guys' phone numbers and email addresses in case people hear this and they want to go ahead and get on board with a sponsorship or have other questions.
If you want to go ahead and sponsor or have questions, you can give Sara Klein a call at 308-641-1991, or my email address is skcounseling@gmail.com.
And also, as the event chair, you can contact myself, Jeanne McKerrigan, at 308-632-9119, or jeannie.mckerrigan@usbank.com.
And we'll have that up, all that stuff up on my blog page so you can see all that stuff. If you have any questions and review what's going on with the Light of Hope Breakfast. Jeannie, Sarah, we appreciate you guys coming in. Good
you
luck.
very
Thank you.
Sounds like you're well on your way to a very successful event. All right, back to you, Dan.